Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the groundbreaking celebration for the Regional Skills Center here in the Burton Business and Industrial Park. My name is John Shannon, and I am the Director of Career and Technical Education for the Onslow County School System, and I want to welcome everyone to what is a very exciting next step to a project that was initiated more than a decade ago. During this time, different barriers and obstacles have slowed and on occasions redirected the efforts of the Skills Center. But it is clear today that the finish line is finally coming into view. I say that with a bit of hesitation, as you know, because that finish line is now within a year. I want to thank all of those in the Onslow County School System and the local community that have been part of this vision throughout, as well as those who have embraced it in the recent months. Thank you for our new partners from business and industry, local governments, and the school districts. At this time, I will recognize the various members, both locally and regionally, that are able to be with us today. The list is long, and I hope that I have not missed anyone in attendance today. If so, I'll apologize up front. Our state elected officials: Senator Harry Brown, North Carolina General Assembly; Mr. Rick Stout, Superintendent, Onslow County Schools; Dr. Beth Folger, Deputy Superintendent; Dr. Barry Collins, Associate Superintendent, Human Resources and Student Services; Mr. Jeff Holloman, Chief Financial Officer; Steve Myers, Chief of Operations; Jeff Pittman, Chief Technology Officer; Madeline Tucker, Instructional Management Coordinator for CTE; Francisca Gray, District Career Development Coordinator; and a variety of Onslow County administrators between principals and assistant principals. Also in attendance from the Onslow County Board of Education, Ms. Pam Thomas, Chairman; Reverend Joel Churchwell; Jonathan Merritt; Earl Taylor; and Bob Williams. Also, welcome to the Onslow County Board of Commissioners, Mr. Jack Bright, Chairman; Royce Bennett, Vice Chairman; Paul Buchanan; Mark Price; and David Cotton, the Onslow County Manager. I'm sorry, it's 3 pages. From our local partners, Coastal Carolina Community College, Mr. David Heatherly, President; Ginger Tootin, Vice President of Instruction; Sharon McGinnis, Vice President for Instructional Effectiveness; and Don Hearing, Division Chair, Student Services. Also other guests from Onslow County: Lorette Legan, the President of the Jacksonville-Onslow Chamber of Commerce. Also representing the Jacksonville Economic Development, we have Jeremy Schmidt. Also from our architects, Pinnacle Architect, we have Randy Baker. And from Quadrant, we have Justin Fife. Duplin County: Tarla Smith, Special Advisor to CTE, STEM, and Innovative Programs. Jones County: Dr. Michael Bracey, Superintendent; Barbara Lee, Director of Career and Technical Education; and Michael White, Principal at Jones Senior High School. The Jones County Board of Education is represented by Michael Wilder. Jones County Commissioners: Frank J. Howard, the Jones County Manager. Camp Lejeune Dependent Schools: Mr. Todd Kirkendall, Camp Lejeune Community Superintendent, and Julie Fulton, Camp Lejeune School Liaison. That's a very extensive list, but it only touches on a few of the folks, well, many of the folks, but there are so many more to be thanked in all 3 districts and the Camp Lejeune schools, all the businesses and industry. So I want to say thank you to everybody. If there's someone that we didn't mention, again, I apologize for that, but thank you all for being here today. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Rick Stout for some words.
Thank you, John. Today is an exciting day. This has been a dream that's been going on for almost 10 years in this county. And to be able to partner with our other counties, with Jones and Duplin, as well as our base schools, it's going to be an exciting time. The ability to connect with the community and having the skills developed right here for jobs within our community and without. We're excited about the opportunity of where it will lead in the future as well. We want to thank our county commissioners, especially, and Senator Brown. I mean, this is a tremendous donation to our school system, but also to your community. And hopefully we'll be able to, within the Skills Center, provide the experience that is needed, that we've been needed for some time in the community. Fellow superintendents who, Dr. Bracey, I appreciate you coming here today and letting your school system to be involved, as well as Duplin. It's very important that we have those partnerships and relationships within our community, and I'm very much looking forward to it. Most exciting for me will be when we get on that shovel and we break ground, and when all this takes place, and I'm so excited about the opportunity coming forward. So at this time, I would like to share this time with our board chair, Ms. Matt Thomas.
You know, it's always it's a happy time when you're doing something like this, and we are excited. As you heard earlier, this is a 10-year vision that we've had, and thanks to Senator Brown, to the partnerships with our commissioners, our partners with the other counties, we're going to do some wonderful things here. I think I just mentioned to Senator Brown that, you know, we're educating our kids. They're leaving and going somewhere else for jobs, and we're going to have plenty of contracted positions, I think, in Onslow County for quite some years to come. Why aren't we hiring our own people? So this is going to give us an edge in doing that, and I just thank all of you for coming today. I told Rick, and he's kind of shy, you know. He doesn't like to take any kudos, but I told him, I said, you know, every person leaves a legacy, and your legacy is going to be the early college, and it's going to be this regional skill center. So I think that the bottom work that he's done behind the scenes and trying to massage this project as well as others is a good thanks to him, and I'd like to give him a round of applause. Our county commissioner, Mr. Bright, is here, and I know that he wants to say a few words, so let's have him come up. Thanks.
Thank you, Pam. Thank everybody for coming today to this groundbreaking ceremony. It's a pleasure to be here, and it's a pleasure to see everyone that's here to support this, and there's many more that does. And my hat's off to Senator Harry Brown for making this possible. Thank you, Harry, for your contribution and other contributions that you made also to Onslow County that we wouldn't have got if you hadn't have been there for us. So thank you, sir. I'd like to also thank the school board for their vision in seeing this need and seeing this happen. If it wasn't for your vision, we wouldn't be here breaking ground today. And a lot of times, you know, students can't afford to go to college, and this is a way that they can specialize in a trade. I've talked to car dealers, and Harry being one of them, he just couldn't find technicians that had the training that they needed to do the job. So we want to try to keep those students here, but if we don't have training here, we lose that opportunity for people to get into a trade. Auto technicians, plumbing, electricians, computer program, carpentry, and masonry. If any of you pick up the telephone and call for any of these services, you know that you pay high dollar for that. And even when students go to college and graduate from college, a lot of times they can't find employment. They come back or they go somewhere else and they still can't find employment, but they're looking for a way to gainfully employ themselves and make a good, decent living with this skill center that would put them in the position to do that. And all these occupations pay very well. You see what a plumber costs to come out to your house on one call and say, hey, you got a problem, and they'll send you a bill right quick. The facilities being used by the schools and the community colleges, which is a win-win situation for everybody. The college can take advantage of it, the schools take advantage of it, and we need that type of training here to keep our students here, and also to give students an opportunity to go to school and work in some type of trade. I'm proud that the county partnered with the school system and the college to do this with the land, and thanks to Paul Buchanan, Vice Chairman Royce Bennett, and Mark Price, and Robin Knapp for all supporting this 100% and unanimously on our board to do this. And I commend our board for doing that. And I thank you and the school board's vision also. Now I'd like to introduce the man that made this happen, Senator Harry Brown. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Jack. Boy, this is a happy day for me, that's for sure. It kind of made me think of my joke I used to tell, and some of you may have heard it, so I'm going to have to tell it one more time real quick, about the doctor that needed a plumber. And he called, and finally it took him about 3 days to finally get a plumber to come to his house to fix his leak. And, of course, his house was a disaster by that time, and the plumber came in and in about 15 minutes fixed his problem. And he handed the doctor a bill for $400. And the doctor said, "My gosh, I'm a doctor. I don't charge that much." He said, "When I was a doctor, I didn't either." And, but, I think that's where it's getting on some of these skilled trades that are so sorely needed. And hopefully this center will address some of those needs, and I know it will. And, for many years, I know when I first ran, gosh, it's been 14 years ago, I guess, one of my platforms was career tech education. Because I know in my business how hard it is to get technicians, how hard it is to recruit them. With the skills needed to work on these cars today, that are high-tech vehicles, and the people that work on them are pretty daggum smart, I promise you. And it's just tough to find them. And it's the same in all these type fields. They're just needed in so many ways. And in our school system, we do the best we can, but it's always been fragmented. It's been a program or two here and a program or two there, and some of the kids that would like to get in those particular programs, it's hard for them to go to that particular school to do it, and it's just, it's been difficult for many years, and this is an opportunity, I think, to bring it together, and I think also make those kids proud of it, because I've always thought that some of those kids that are in career tech education are kind of looked down on as maybe the kids that aren't quite as smart, or just have that stigma. I'll argue, and I will forever, that those kids are just as smart, if not smarter. It's just in a different way. They know how to use their hands and can do things. And it takes a special, God-given talent to do that. And so I think this will really bring those kids together and be proud of what they can do. And I think the results from this will be something that we'll be able to appreciate for a long, long time. I also want to thank Jones and Duplin County and the base for being a part of this. I think the regional approach was the right way to do it because I think the needs are that big. And I think being able to bring them in will just make it that much better. And just having that support from those communities is key. And, I want to thank Rick. And we've talked about this, gosh, for a long time, how to make it happen. And, it just, we just didn't have the money. We just couldn't find a way to do it. But thanks to the county commissioners donating the land and trying to find some money in the budget and just kind of putting it all together, it's going to finally come together in the next year, and it's going to be a great center for all of us. So thanks for letting me be a part of this today. And again, this is an exciting day for me. So thanks so much. And I guess we're going to do a little groundbreaking now. That's a good thing.